Hello boys and girls, welcome to another stream of Dwarf Fortress Abbeydent. Today we want to do some stuff with military. What we did in the last session was building an armory just one level below the barracks, which are actually not yet assigned to squads, but an armory with separate stockpiles for each weapon and armor piece, metal armor up here, and smaller stockpiles for leather armor one level below. Hello Ferko, nice to see you. We have decided that it will be better to have a hospital further up. The original plan to have hospital was somewhere around the magma pool level and this underground water level. I also planned connecting this pond, which is sourced from outside the map, with the pond which is not sourced from anywhere. I don't know when I will do that. I could work on it, but the better idea we had later in the last session, where we decided to build the hospital just above the aquifer. There is a sandstone layer above the aquifer. So as you remember, aquifer starts right here. This is the first layer of aquifer, and above it is solid stone, sandstone with no aquifer. And I've already dug a room where I intend to have a hospital built. This staircase will become the well, I think. Well, and all we need is the beds, traction benches and other stuff, lots of thread, lots of cloth, things like that. So we will do this in this session. Next stuff on my to-do list is making soap. We so far have only the tallow for the soap, which is stored. This is the soap maker's workshop, and this is the tallow from camels. But we need lye, and for that we need to burn some wood. And you know, we embarked in a desert, so wood is a rare thing. So we need to be careful with that. Yeah, and also we will need to equip our military and assign them to the barracks. So we will do the stuff I like to do least first, and that is military equipment. We don't have enough things crafted to really form uniforms, well, we can define uniforms obviously, but they are nowhere to be done. All we have is a couple of leather armors and some crossbows, but we can try it. We will also need some more guys in the military. I need to open Dwarf Therapist and see who. Pretty much, I want to have everyone in the military. Actually, this shall be a military fortress, more or less. So miners, so let's have, we now have 20 dwarves, so that is pretty much 2 squads. Yeah, we will assign, I think we will have these 2 squads switching or taking turns in practice. So there will be the melee squad training, and then there will be the marks squad training. Well, I'm thinking, well, we are expecting a new migration wave anyway soon, and anytime soon. So maybe this will be not necessary to really have 100% of squad presence. Anyway, we have 3 capable dwarves in the melee squad. There is a 4th one which could be useful. So we have Feb, Domas and Obok. There is a shield user and armor user who is Deduk, but he is already in the Marks Dwarves. And there is another rather good shield user and armor user I see, and that is Sarvesh. He's also very disciplined, and he's a good fighter and dodger. That's a new arrival, or recent arrival. And the last thing, well, I think that's about it. All others are marksmen. So we have, let me check this, let me sort them by squad. We already have Sons of Hoping containing 6 people, and there are two more I want. Erith is one of them. Weaponsmith. Oh, weaponsmith. Ay. Do I really want to risk my weaponsmith? Oh, weaponsmith is precious. Weaponsmith is. But he's a dabbling marksman. I mean, novice crossbow rusty. Now, I think I'll spare him the risk of death. I'll just go with one more, and that is Zephon, who is actually one of the recent arrivals and a proficient crossbowman. So, proficient crossbowman came. He's got already some kills. Who killed he? 1 2-humped camel and 1 giant sparrow, and 0 kangaroos. Okay. Zephon, where are you? Here, hunter. Right. Okay. So I guess the bulk of our new soldiers will be coming in the upcoming migrant waves. Here I'm much more careful than I was in my previous fortress, Heaven's Tongues, where we had sudden migrant waves of 20, almost 30 dwarves. Which let the number of dwarves in our fortress grow very fast, which made it like a prominent target for sieges. Yet the dwarves were somehow too busy to do anything but military training, and I was as a fortress overseer doing a very bad job in not letting them train. So they ended up all untrained and defenseless when the siege came. So that was the end of the fortress. So here we are at the end of the first year. Wait a moment. No, this is late spring actually. This is the spring of the second year. This is the spring of the second year. We started in 128 spring. This is, and we are only 20 dwarves. So here I'm gradually extending the population cap. Before we had a population cap of 19. In this spring we had 20. and only one migrant came, and now I allowed 10 more dwarves, so I will see, we'll probably see something between 1 and 10 dwarves coming to our fortress. So I want to gradually accept migrants to keep up with the slow start of this fortress. Okay, I see we also have some camels here, which are starting to multiply very quickly. And actually we need leather, so we should probably move the workshops inside. I'll have a butcher's shop. Tanner's shop. And leatherworks. And I'll have a stockpile of leather here. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. So next we will need the, as I said, for soap making we need lye. I've already built an ashery. Oh, actually designated to build an ashery and a wood furnace. So this will be the ashery and wood furnace. I need to check, of course, whether we have actually a wood burner, and look here, we don't have anyone who is allowed to do wood burning. Gem cutter would be allowed. I think it's not much of a thing. I think carpenter has something to do, but the bowyer probably hasn't. There is a spinner, strand extractor, can be wood burner. Weaver, cheesemaker can also be wood burner. And who else? What is this guy? Bowyer. Woodcutter, shearer, yeah, it can be wood burner. Wood burner, and I believe, let me check the lye, wood burner, and I also make them lye makers. The minor weaponsmith is quite good actually. But weaponsmith has become an adept weaponsmith, level 7 now, almost level 8. It's good. Woodcutter. It's clothes maker. I need a clothes maker. Ah, this guy seems rather useless. Have him as a, but he's the record keeper. Menken. Meng is gem cutter. This guy's the dyer. Dyer can also do this. A leather worker. I need a leather worker. Sure thing. All right, commit. We have some guys who should take care of this. So, yeah. Anything else on my list? Of course, military equipment. I did not take care of that. I assigned some new guys to the military, but I actually did not do the equipment stuff. So here we can see that these guys have a weapon and a leather armor. Let me just check the stockpiles, because I think we have some slightly more things than just an armor. We have some leather armors, that's true, about 20. But we should also have some legwear, I believe. No, we don't have legwear. Okay. Headwear maybe? Nope. Handwear? Nothing. Footwear? Nothing. Shields? Nothing. Backpacks? Nothing. Quivers? Okay. Llama leather quiver? Okay. Okay. No dice. I thought I made that. Whatever. We will see. Maybe he just didn't update the records. But anyway, military equipment. So suppose we have only leather armor. So we will make uniforms. I will add uniform, name uniform. Actually, I'll marks items, leather armor, legs, leggings, gloves, high boots, shield, and weapon is a crossbow. Material, I want leather, 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 leather. Shield is a, doesn't matter. Helm is missing, right? Leather helm, yeah. And then I will have metal armor, metal. Add uniform, metal armor. I'll take a breastplate. Helm, greaves, gauntlets, high boots, shield, and no weapons. I will assign the weapons individually. So material, this will be metal, this will be metal, this will be... Shields don't matter much. Okay. Okay. Partial matches over clothing. Partial matches over clothing. Yeah, that's a good start. So as for equipment, we will have assign uniforms. I will assign this squad leather and use for squad, and this sign I will actually wrong thing. This is the melee squad. And for melee squad, actually I have nothing better than leather. And I will, has this. I will manually get rid of these crossbows here, and I will assign Feb a spear. Domas will take a mace. Actually, I will let him have any spear. We have only one. Obok is a sword dwarf, so instead of a crossbow, he will have a short sword, and Sarvesh is also a mace dwarf. Mace, and that means we will, since we have some silver, we will forge 2 maces. And a warhammer for the next guy. And we also need something else. Maces, warhammer, silver spear. Silver spear probably is not that good, is it? I think copper is superior to spear. Because spear is an edged weapon, and silver is quite a soft metal. Copper is also soft, but slightly better, I believe. So, and that's it. Okay, well, that's how things will go. We should also finally take inside the contents of our wagon. For that I will build a mechanics workshop. I will need tables, because we need to make the traction benches. Tables. Then we need chains. Shedhunter, how many dwarves do you limit your forts normally to? 80, was it? Well, yeah, this time I explained it at the beginning of the session. I found that you can actually gradually up the cap. So I was slightly overwhelmed with the migrants in our last fortress, Heaven's Tongues, where it just went all too fast, and we grew so fast that we attracted big sieges I couldn't handle. So this time I take it somewhat slower, and when we started I played with a limit of 10 for the first couple of seasons, and then I upped the limit to 19, and only in the spring of the second year I made it 20, and now, expecting summer migrants, I have put the limit to 30 dwarves, so that we gradually get more and more dwarves, and the sieges get tougher and tougher, and we can sort of keep up with things. Also, have read reports of people who are just, well, starting on a challenging embark, something like an aquifer embark, and that they just disable sieges for a while until they have drilled through the aquifer and have the fortress running. Until then they just disabled invaders, and once they felt ready they enabled invaders, and done I think it takes some challenges away, but it feels so, well, slightly, not really cowardish, but yeah, it is probably cowardish, but it is something I can imagine doing too. If I just want to have fun and having a beautiful fortress growing up, rather than something cobbled together in like in this big time stress where you need to have things done fast before the next migrants come and before the next siege comes. So you can just build away for about 5 years, and then once you have a decent military and steel armor, you can say, okay, let them come. But I think this might also take some fun away, but I will not know until I try this. So maybe we will try that in one of our fortresses, just having completely disabled sieges, and just let the fortress grow. And once we have all traps and fortifications made, we can enable the sieges. So but I keep sieges enabled for this one. I just raise my population cap step by step, and I think that the game mechanics is in a way that if it sees that you have only 30 dwarves, it won't send 150 goblin raiders with some big animals. You know, I think that it puts a siege challenging in relative comparison to your fortress size, to your population size. Not necessarily to the skills of your military dwarves, but at least to the population size. So if you have 30 dwarves, I expect a big ambush or a little siege of about one group, but nothing how to say, nothing worse than that. So yeah, Ferko says, I played with no sieges to build infrastructure. Yeah, I will try, I think, but not this time. This is fortress who is trying to do things fast. Furniture, mechanisms. So this will be the mechanics workshop who will be doing the traction benches. I think the miners should seize the moment of this calm thing where we have no mega beasts roaming the caverns, and should actually dig here. Dig this stuff. However, we will need something more. We will not dig here. We'll dig an upstairs here, downstairs here, downstairs here, upstairs here, and I think We don't need this. Okay. So now that we have 2 squads, we have made 2 barracks. The bigger barracks, actually they are both equally big, 7 by something. So there's no bigger barracks. But I think since the Marks Dwarfs are more likely to grab the ammo, I will make this the barracks where they will train. Will they also sleep here? That's the question. Sleeping here? I don't think so. Train. And this is the barracks where these guys will train. And we will have a schedule. So we will have probably train, break, train, break, train, break, train, break, and slightly shift it. And as for train, yeah, we put them all there, but edit order. Let's check how many dwarves we actually have. We have 8 dwarves, so let's have 6 soldiers minimum. For the other squad where we have 4 dwarves, we will have 3 minimum. I somehow messed up. That is train nothing, train nothing, train nothing, train nothing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. Created a masterpiece, Sunstone Scepter. Okay. Ah, there is the summer. I will not start the new session for the summer because we just started. Oh, he's thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. Planting seeds now. Wait, there is some giant sparrows. Giant sparrows. Hey, look at giant sparrows. Maybe we should move out. And train some. Bee kill list. Giant sparrows. I improved my crossbow. That was very satisfying. Hey, look at this. They are shooting. It's good that we have so many silver bolts. Improved my crossbow. Improved my crossbow. Very satisfying. They are happy. Yeah, it's good training. We need some serious training. Oh, I forgot about ammunition. Yeah, that's good. He doesn't have a crossbow, right? Oh, he probably doesn't have a quiver. There's the caravan, human caravan. Oh boy, I forgot about that. Human caravan. We don't have many things to sell them. Perhaps some ammo. I don't really have any crafts, do I? Well, we do have some crafts. Okay, let's bring on crafts as well. We can remove building. We'll probably buy some drinks. And councillors give water. Yeah. Look at the drinks. We have lots of drinks. Okay, we don't have any drinks. It says here 92 drinks. But we have some brewable plants, so brew them. Damn it. Brew them. Silver Warhammer, silver bars. Okay, that's good. Ah, this porcupine is not yet tamed. Ah, there's a sparring report. All right. So what have they brought? Trader requested. Let's keep the good stuff for the dwarves. Oh, there are quite valuable silver bolts. Okay, what did they bring? Parchment sheet, iron boning knife. I think we'll buy that. Splints. Spiked iron ball. Quivers. Backpacks. Thread and yarn. Iron anvils, leather, more leather, leather bags. I think we'll have them. Red sand bag. Leather bag, black sand, rope reed bag, Nautilus leather bag, sandbags, quicklime. Large iron boot, iron high boot, iron mace, iron pick maybe. Okay, we need to give some more iron bolts, silver bolts. Yeah, not so bad. So I would love to buy more of these metal bars in case we have some mood. Iron cap. I'm buying these large iron pieces of armor to melt them because we don't have our own iron. And I think this will be good. So we have sold off some of our precious steel bolts. Oh, look at these large clusters. Heliodor. These guys are now built. So wood furnace, we can use wood furnace to make ash. I'll make 10 ash bars. There we go. And then we can make lye, and then we can make soap. And how about our mechanic? He's got some tables stored here. He first needs to make some mechanisms, of course. But to make mechanisms, he needs stone. And where does he? That's a furniture stockpile. He needs stone stockpile. You know what? I'll change this to stone. And what sort of stone are we mining right now? Getting? We have some granite. Here is lots of granite. And here is more granite. So I think that answers the question. Stone. Make and we also need some rock pots, so this guy should get some granite too. Caravan from Matagil will be leaving soon. Yeah, we have traded with them. Everything's fine. There's a dumping zone, right? We have a traction bench. First traction bench can be built. Okay, here we have some fresh aquifer water. Make it from rutile blocks. Pigtail rope and granite mechanisms. Okay, wood burner has some ash bars now, so we can make lime. We have currently 7 ash bars. Make 7, 1, 2, 3, 7 lies. Though I guess we need a bucket of to store lye, right? Requires 1 bar and 1 empty bucket. Yeah, we need buckets. It's more complicated than I thought. What's our carpenter doing? Carpenter's on military duty or what? Sure is. He sure is. I guess we will need another carpenter. It can't be helped. Can't be helped. Shed says, Onagi, did you see the new future of the fortress post several hours ago? No, I looked up several hours ago at about 8 AM, which was 4 hours ago, and there was no new thing. I guess I'll have to look again. Oh no, several hours ago. Yeah, there's no future of the fortress. No, actually I didn't. He usually links it in the blog, and I only read it then. Where is future of the fortress? Post. Okay, so there is a future of the fortress thing posted today. I see. July 2nd. What? July 2nd? Toady one today at 12:16 AM. Okay, what does it say? It's too long. I rarely ever read these posts, but I'll keep it open here and I will read it in my lunch break. Thanks for the notice, Shedhunter. And Visual Valdi, hello. Did you lose Heaven's Tongues? Yes, I did mess it up badly. Such a good embark it was, but I couldn't handle it. So we have a well. We have a water source. Shedhunter, it's quite long indeed, but he does mention a few tidbits about sending invasions and stuff, and find it odd to think how far this game has come and is going several years I've been playing. Yeah. Today I looked up when was my first Dwarf Fortress video. It was in September 2010, so it's been 8 years now. I've been playing Dwarf Fortress for 8 years. Oh, and I'm very excited about magic. Very excited. I love the system, how he conceptualized magic with these spheres and rituals and randomized rituals to perform magic. It's really, really nice stuff. I don't ever see dwarves being the firebolt casting creatures. They won't be, but there will be creatures able to do that, and I think dwarves will have some more other kind of magic. I think it will be good. So are we dumping these or aren't we? I hope they aren't dumping them here. No, they aren't. What is this? Oh, a bat, isn't it? Giant bat. Right, that's right. Blue pea chicks have hatched. Hooray, hooray, hooray. I wonder why aren't these wheelbarrows used ever? Have you assigned the wheelbarrows to a stockpile? Well, yes, for example here, this wheelbarrow, this has 2 wheelbarrows assigned, but it never uses them. Yeah, they probably have. One of them wheelbarrows has a sandstone inside. I can see that. This other is empty with the sandstone next to it. Migrants. Finally some workforce. Shed says, my wheelbarrows used to get iron blocks stuck inside them, so I had to dump the blocks to free up with the wheelbarrows. I see. Well, I'll try that. Carpenter, yes, carpenter. Proficient super. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. I guess we won't be needing these. Trapper. Teacher. Comedian. 3. Reindeer. Bowyer. Hammer dwarf. Excellent. I have already a hammer for you. So we've got 4 dwarves now. So let's try it. We have a wheelbarrow which is empty and a wheelbarrow which has something inside, and we dump this sandstone. And he is on dumping an item. Ducklings have hatched. Oh joy, oh joy. porcupine will be brought here. Helmets, pigtail, no seeds. I see. Stone, that's bad because we need pigtails. We need processing plants on repeat here. We've got 3 more traction benches. We're making those buckets and then beds. We need beds now. So buckets, we have 3 more bucket. So we have lye. Tallow. So let's see. We got one new guy who is some military background, and that is a hammer dwarf, Ficod. We need to assign him to a military squad. And give him a weapon, a warhammer. I'll build a wall here. However, I'll build this wall from blocks. And actually this is stupid. So I will need a wall here. Granite. What is wrong? Usually I would expect that this granite stone is a suggested building material as a granite in distance 1. Why don't I get these suggestions? Looks like the dwarves are ignoring this granite. It's some mystery. So if I build a wall here, the only thing a creature can go is pass through here or descend down. Yeah, it's actually quite good. Oh, I know, because that granite is being hauled. Like everybody has already claimed those granites. They are already reserved. I guess we'll need a ton of wheelbarrows because I hate to see the dwarves like this. Some traction benches. Niman says, I don't have an idea how you build a military, neither know I how you get so much minerals, because I've done like 4 Z levels down and can't get further because of the water, but I enjoy watching it. Yeah, the aquifer is a very challenging embark. You've been warned at the embark screen that you are embarking on an aquifer site and that it may be very hard to get solid rock. It is considered a big challenge to have an aquifer embark. They are usually the better spots to embark because they often contain more precious materials, more precious ores and stuff due to the geology given there. But they are very hard to deal with. I usually do it that I have like half of the embark area marked as aquifer and other half not, so that I can dig around the aquifer. Like as it with this embark, we have sandstone, which is aquifer bearing stone capable of bearing aquifer. This sandstone is okay. It doesn't have aquifer. This layer as well, but the layer below, a couple of layers below, we have an aquifer sandstone. So that's like the endless supply of water. So if you want, you can disable aquifers entirely and create a new world without aquifers. If you disable that in your init files or in your lazy new pack options, create a new world without aquifers, then you don't have to bother with them. But I like to keep them in just to have something challenging, and they can be also utilized very nicely because they provide you. I mean, I'm in the desert, which has no source of water except for deep underground in the caverns, and it is much more convenient for me to use the aquifer water. For example, I'm building a hospital here right above the aquifer, and I just dug a single hole into the aquifer and building a well above it. So I have an endless supply of water here. Yeah. So If you don't have a way around, there is there is somewhat a tedious method. You could dig through the aquifer. It's called the double slit method. Several years ago I've created a wiki page in the wiki describing how you would deal with the aquifer. Step by step. There are other methods too, not always applicable. This double slit method is applicable always, but it's quite time consuming. It takes about 4 months in-game time to dig through an aquifer such as that. But yeah, it's rewarding. It's very rewarding if you manage that. Usually aquifers are in sedimentary layers, and sedimentary layers are more likely to be iron, to have iron ores than non-aquifer. I think that's my gut feeling. I have no proof of that, but I think that the geology model supports that. Shed says, I personally find them as more anions myself, but yeah, to each their own. Well, I like them. They can be really utilized in a good way. If you need to flood some areas for farming or whatever, I mean, that can be everything. Possible, but I currently have the problem that my dwarves are somehow not really building the wall. The first wall has been built. Okay. More blue pea chicks have hatched. Seriously. And I have more eggs, even more eggs. Yeah, we will probably have to dig a much bigger area for these pea chicks. It's getting out of hand. I mean, we will need their leather. Their leather will be valuable. So we have bucket containing a lye. So let me store lye. Need more tables. Birth of a two-humped camel. So I wonder whether this is really sourced from outside the map, or whether just one tile outside the map there is stone, whether this will ever fill up. We'll see. If it fills up, it will fill up. If not, then not. And we have this, so we can deconstruct this nest box and have a new pasture where I will assign the peacocks and pea chicks. I'll leave the peahens in the old one because they need to breed the eggs. Oh, there's a louse and tick. Oh boy, vermin, vermin. And these ducks, I think, can have a new pasture here. Oh, Drake, it's called Drake. Okay, Drake. Okay, camels. We now should have some leather, I believe. Well, we should, but we don't. But we will nevertheless make leather armor, leather helm, leggings, gloves, high boots, and a shield and a quiver, backpack, water skin. Oh boy, there is this next season coming, so I think I will up the limit to 50 dwarves now, because even with 30 it's slightly a little. Autumn is here, and with that a new dwarven caravan can we expect. What do architects accept idling? Well, certain buildings before they can be built require an architect. For example, a trader's depot, or magma smelter, or a metalsmith's magma forge, or bridges. If you build bridges, an architect clears the building site of any unwanted material, any items lying there, brings the building material to the site, and well, designs the building, and then he leaves, and it's up to another dwarf to actually build it. It can be the same dwarf. It can be if it's a mason and an architect, he can build a bridge of stone. If it's a carpenter and an architect, he can build a bridge made from wood, and so on. But the architect basically does only this job. I have seen some Let's Plays and players putting many skill points into the architecture skill, and having one dedicated dwarf who does practically nothing but architecture, because if you read through dwarves' thoughts, you when they admire objects and works of art, especially statues or tables, hedge covers, whatever masterwork items you have built somewhere, if it has been, people assumed, and I guess still assume, that if it has been built by a skillful architect, that it is, then you can read in the thoughts, arranged in a tasteful way, or some like well arranged building, that they really not only appreciate the quality of the item but also the quality of the arrangement in the room, you see. So that's why probably they try to put skill points into architecture. What I do personally, I just enable architecture job for everybody, because usually when you need to build things, often you need to build them fast, and whether they are tastefully arranged or not doesn't matter, and waiting a couple of days or weeks until your architect who you are leveling up finally has the time to go about and do the work, it may be too late. So I just don't bother too much with this skill, but it may be something for, I mean, like if you like role-playing your fortress or really like to play with that and explore it. I mean, for science, people do also some sort of research when they try to play with a dedicated architecture, without, and compare whether it has any impact on the happiness of dwarves or whatever. So that's what I know about architects. All right, I'll see you guys in the next session. However, it may take some time until the session will be up, because I'll make a lunch. I've cooked something for lunch, and so I might start streaming at, I don't know, like in 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, something like that. Thanks for joining the stream. I'll see you for the autumn season.